12-year-old Anthony faced sexual assault. He became an alcoholic and druggist in his late 40s. His wife passed away after suffering from cancer. They have a daughter named Lee. Anthony, now a recovering alcoholic, has been successfully cast in a horror film to play a priest role. He turns into a troubled actor, gets possessed, and shows disruptive behavior while performing on set. Either childhood trauma or sinister causes, unknowing what exactly leads in trouble to save her father. Let's watch what exactly happened in the Georgetown Project, which is reminiscent of the movie The Exorcist. In this movie recap of The Exorcism, welcome to Movie Spotlight. Tom is an actor who plays a priest in the supernatural horror movie in the Georgetown Project, which is reminiscent of The Exorcist. In New York, he was practicing his dialogue alone on the film set when an unexplained supernatural force killed him. A 16-year-old girl, Lee, returns home after her suspension at school due to damaging her principal's property in the name of protest. The film's demanding director Peter selects veteran actor Anthony Miller, a recovering alcoholic, to play Tom's role. Lee's father, Anthony Miller, practices his dialogue for the priest's role. They are both still healing from Lee's mother's death. Tony's luck appears to change when, in the wake of the unsolved murder of the last cast member, he receives an invitation to try out for the main part in the planned remake reminiscent of The Exorcist. He lands the role mostly because of the gruesomely vile Tony, the film's ruthless director, who draws inspiration for the role from Tony's hardship. Crews go through a party where every film crew member, including Lee, the father and daughter, start to get along after he manages to get Lee hired as his PA. Lee meets and befriends Blake, a well-known TV actress who portrays a possessed girl in the movie. On shoot day 1, Blake shares that they will make a horror film and warns that all kind of creepy things happen on sets while shooting movies like The Omen, The Exorcist, or The Poltergeist. Anthony Miller, also known as Tony, has been struggling both on and off the set of the movie since day 1 of the film shoot, frequently experiencing flashbacks to his molestation after disclosing his history as a victim of sexual assault. Lee takes a break while practicing the Bible verse dialogue. Lee follows Anthony downstairs. She listens to his chant in Latin. When she reached down, she saw him peeing under the flickering lights. After a few moments of darkness, Tony is startling her, standing nude in front of her. For the next flickering, Anthony is seen upstairs staring Lee. Lee believes these were all the side effects of Tony's not taking his new medication. Tony takes a bath, and spreading black nerves is seen as a sign of being possessed. It was shoot day 11 and the team reviewed Anthony's performance. No one was happy or satisfied with it. Lee feels bad for him and she meets Father Connor, a Catholic priest and psychiatrist who serves as a consultant for the movie. Lee gets closer to Blake and returns home at night. Lee notices her father has bleeding hands, cuts here and there on his body, and covers his body with blood. Lee thinks it's all because he didn't take his new medication and yells at him that she is moving out of the house and she can't bear it anymore. Suddenly, Anthony gets angry. The door closes automatically and his voice changes. He asks her, "Where you gonna go? You don't have school. You don't have a mother. All you have is me." Lee cries and replies, "Get out! Get out of here, Tony." Before leaving himself behind the door, he replies, "My name is not Tony." It was shoot day 15 and Tony was in his caravan, suffering from his cuts and bruises. Lee helps him with his first aid. Tony asks her to go back to school as he knows how it's gonna get out of him and he wishes her to be safe. Lee starts to worry more and more about her father's odd actions, such as cutting himself, sleepwalking, and not taking his prescriptions. Regarding Anthony's scary conduct, Lee and Blake speak with Father Connor. Lee says that she doesn't know exactly, but messed up stuff happened to him when he was a kid. Also, she plays the recording of Anthony praying in Latin. Father Connor recognizes the lines as "Make a way for the demon Moloch, prepare for his arrival, sacrifice your children," and refers to Moloch as the demon from the movie he is making. He says that Anthony's role is affecting him too deeply. On shoot day 18, Tony couldn't deliver his holy line dialogues properly during the shoot. He is struggling to say those words. To convey the dialogue properly, the film director Peter asks to recall Tony's sexual assault, and that happened when he was 12. Soon after this, when he says rolling, Tony changes into a different man, horrifically writhes backward quite a few times continuously on the set, and slams his head on the table forcefully in a repetitive manner. Peter mocks Miller's tumultuous past and lack of faith while discussing replacing him. Joe, a co-actor who played his colleague in the beginning, takes Tony's place to play the role. While Joe rehearses his dialogue alone on the film set, Joe gets murdered by flying glass from a mirror and encounters the demon of Miller. Hesitantly, Lee gives Tony two pills of medication. When she gives him his second pill, Tony licks her finger weirdly. Blake at their house gets a message about Joe's death. On the other side, Tony spits out his pills. Worriedly, Blake and Lee are involved in their makeout session. Amid all Anthony screams, Lee was distracted in a room to check on him. Tony was angry that Blake kissed Lee. He abruptly attacks Lee and licks her cheek with a blood-covered tongue. Blake attacks him from behind before Tony leaps out of a window. Father Connor decides to carry out an exorcism on the film set. In front of the now possessed Tony, Lee discovers Blake and him incapacitated, and Tony makes fun of Lee's attempts to utilize a prayer book. Blake and Connor are rendered unconscious after she uses a crucifix to burn him. Connor tells the girls to flee as he gives upon them at random and offers himself to the devil. After Connor becomes possessed, Lee also joins in and encourages Tony to stab Connor with the cross and do the exorcism ritual from the prayer book sincerely. Connor catches fire and the demon is vanquished. Later on, in a different setting, Tony reflects on how his relationship with his daughter has improved. Soon, Lee starts writing a screenplay for a movie.